Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Power Rangers Dino Fury Green Ranger armored figure from Wave 3. I don't know if I'm going to be reviewing every one in Wave 3 individually, but this is the only one I got so far. As of this recording, Wave 3 has come out, which includes this one. It includes Black with Armored Power, Dino Knight Red, and then you have the Henchman. But this one in particular went up on Amazon a bit ago, and the little order/pre-order arrived, and I haven't found the others in store, so I'm covering it. Anyway, before we get started, I just want to show off that this does include an individual key like usual, so I'll cut away to showing a comparison and the sound. Okay, so here's the key that is included with the one you get. You know, pretty standard stuff. You get an alternate helmet here on this side, and then on this side you get kind of a holographic little art of it, and they definitely look cheap. I've always thought the little holographic art, like in terms of the design, kind of looked cool. Like, I just like the drawing of it effectively, but these are rather cheap for what they are. But it's not that different from the one you get with the main release. Like, this is the one from the main release. As you can see, the primary difference is this is a darker green and this is kind of a lighter green, and this has the more interspersed detail here of the silver, whereas this basically just goes for all green outside of the little horn tips. And on the other side, you know, there's no difference to the drawing other than it also being a darker green with a different outline there. As far as the sounds go, I'm only going to show it in this one because it's the only one that has a reader, even if it's not exciting. You can use it obviously in the Dino Knight Morpher, but it doesn't really have a reader and will just make the same sounds depending on which direction you're placing it. Alright, now that that's out of the way, before we talk about the figure itself, I want to address how this figure was released. So if you don't remember, we started with only the core 3 original Rangers, blue, red, and pink, and then green and black were only included in a special 5-pack from Amazon, but we were then promised or told that they would release them individually later down the line in a future wave. And apparently this is the release. As of this recording, there hasn't been any information said or shown or anything about a standard Green Ranger figure. So this, as of this moment, is the only individual Green Ranger figure release that has to come with the armor. You know, this piece, I'm sure if you really wanted to, customizers could take it off, but it's obviously never going to be a fully regular Green Ranger figure. And just for comparison here it is next to the standard one. And as you can see, it's basically the same figure, it just has the different armor there, but this is the one that comes with the Amazon 5-pack. So I wanted to talk about it at the beginning because I think that's unfortunate. I don't really have a problem with them wanting to do a figure with the side armor here because it's another figure to sell, something Bandai probably would have done. But I think it kind of sucks that you have to buy an exclusive 5-pack from Amazon to get all 5 main Rangers in their regular form. I just think that's really strange. It'd be a different story if it was like an auxiliary Ranger or a one-off Ranger or something, I don't know, but for the main team, I think that's kind of sucky. I also feel it would be much more exciting to release something like the armored forms that have the full-on chest piece rather than just these, and they have a plethora of them they could take advantage of, which would be really neat to release. Anyway, talking about the figure itself though, it's your standard fare. As you saw, it came with the key, it comes with your standard little blade here, which actually is something that the standard releases for red, blue, and pink did not have. They just had these weird original weapons that aren't even in the show. Otherwise, my general opinion on these figures stand. They're not perfect. I think the proportions on the Dino Fury ones are a little strange, and she definitely feels a little bit strange, like the helmet seems a little bit big for the body, it's a little bit off. But for the most part, for like, what, an $8 figure, standard figure, these are still pretty decent. I think the helmet sculpts, you know, outside of the little bit of awkward proportions, are pretty well done. You know, they have all the right colors. The silver has kind of a nice shine to it. It's not a basic gray or anything like that. You do have a little bit of discrepancy in the color here, where this is a shiny silver and this is a gray, but it's a basic figure. I'm willing to let it slide more than on something like the Lightning Collection. But the mold, you know, you don't have a weirdly like muscular mold or a too busty mold or anything. I think they're a pretty nice overall mold for a basic figure. You know, the armor looks fine. You kind of have a cheap looking sticker there, which is, you know, it's whatever. Kind of a nice shiny silver there. I do like the nice shiny gold here on this piece. It kind of sucks that this piece here looks cheap for the main arm. But overall, you know, it looks fine for what it is. Articulation, you're pretty much standard stuff. Nice hinge joint right here. You know, you get some all-around movement, elbow joint, some swiveling, nice little joint here at the leg. Single knee joint there. You do have a nice little joint on the head, so you can do some creepy exorcist stuff and move it up and down. So pretty standard stuff. You know, these figures, the basic figures, are not perfect, but for what they are, I still do like them. I think the Dino Fury ones are a little bit more awkward for me than like the Beast Morphers ones for whatever reason. But considering the price point and the way some of the other figures that Hasbro makes at this price point and style aren't the greatest, I'm still kind of happy with the way the basic figures turned out. But as far as this release goes, you know, If you like the basic figures and you're a completionist, I can recommend it to you. And if you don't mind having this represent green in your main display and you don't want to get the 5-pack, I can recommend it. But overall, it's not necessarily a must-have. If you haven't picked up any of the basic figures yet, I recommend just picking up the 5-pack. I don't really have any major problems with this figure as a basic figure outside of the proportions. My main problem comes from I'm kind of annoyed, even though I bought them all from the 5-pack anyway. I'm just kind of annoyed on a practice level that it's so weird to get the 5 main Rangers, and that really does bother me. But that's about it for this one, though, guys. Until next time, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell. So notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.